delivered from a sermon Sunday service. This is not a catchy quote. It is a prophetic rebuke, a spiritual summons, a wake-up call to a people bound by predictability and performances. Delivered from what? From the bondage of form without fire, from the rod of religion without relationship, from the illusion that attendance equals obedience, or that preaching without presence equals transformation. For too long, we've treated the Sunday pulpit like a performance stage, the pew like a theater seat, and the preacher like a hired voice to entertain our conscience for 40 minutes before we return to live unbothered by thee, cross and unmarked by the kingdom. But heaven is shouting, come out from the system that fed you sermons but starved you of Christ. You don't need another clever three-point message. You need presence. You need power. You need fire. Not a sermon, but a summons. Not a talk, but a transaction. Not content, but communion. What are we being delivered from? 1. From spectator Christianity, church has become a gallery of passive listeners. We come to hear a word, not become the word. But the kingdom doesn't raise sermon addicts. It births saints and sends soldiers. God is delivering his people from the lie that says send soldiers. God is delivering his people from the lie that says, if I sit in a pew, I've done my duty. 1. From the worship, preach, go home routine, the rhythm is so familiar. Even demons can time our altar calls. We've automated our liturgy to the point where God could walk out and we'd still have church. But there's a cry rising from the wilderness. Where is the trembling? Where is the awe? Where is the awe? Where is the undone worship of Isaiah? The broken repentance of David? 1. From personality-driven platforms, we gather for a man's gift, not for God's glory. We know the preacher's cadence, but not the Spirit's whisper. We've been trained to clap at revelation, not collapse in repentance. But no more. God is dethroning sermons that exalt men and replacing them with movements that enthrone Christ. What are we being delivered into? Into the upper room church, not the conference room church, a place of fire, prayer, unity, and commissioning. The goal is not better notes. It's burning hearts. The church that turns the world upside down never began with bullet points. It began with brokenness and tongues of fire. Into the company of the burning ones, saints who don't wait for Sunday to hear God, saints who carry altars in their homes, saints who break bread, weep in intercession, and minister to the Lord in hidden places. The ecclesia is arising, not bound by pews, but built on presence. Into functionality, not just pastoral programs, a shift from maintenance to mission. From feeding the saved to releasing the sent. The Lord is calling saints to maturity. No longer drinking weekly milk, but wielding swords in the Spirit, shaking cities and disciplining nations. The Spirit of the Word is. This be delivered from the illusion that Sunday is the pinnacle of your faith. Be delivered from dependence on a man's voice when God is calling you to hear his. Be delivered from a rhythm that dulls the urgency of eternity. A prophetic call to the church: tear down the idol of the pulpit, raise the altar of presence, break the cycle of feed me Christianity, step into send me maturity, mourn the loss of divine disruption, make room again for his glory to interrupt. The goal is not better sermons. The goal is a burning church. Be delivered, church, from sermons that pacify and into encounters that crucify. From Sunday cycles into Spirit-led surrender. From pulpits that impress into altars that possess. From church services that end into kingdom lives that never switch off. Let the cry echo, be delivered from a sermon Sunday service, and let it be answered with a church on fire.